Button.
Here.
Alex Stelo. Michael Dye.
Here.
Ann Herbert.
Here.
William Hutton.
Here.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Here.
Dan Spitali.
Here.
Sharon Zaney.
Here.
8 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Our next order of business is the election of officers. Are there any motions on the floor for the president? Please.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint William Hutton as the president.
Respectfully, I'd like to decline. I'm sorry.
I'd like to nominate Dean Buttons.
Is there a second? Second. Roll call vote, or can we? No?
All in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please take over.
We need a vice president.
You do.
So I guess I'll continue at this stage.
I like this one better.
Chair entertains a motion for the position of vice president of the Plan Commission.
I'd like to nominate William Hutton for vice president.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, and are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? We'll do a, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other officers to be nominated today?
Plan Commission member to BZA.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Next item on the agenda is
next
item on the agenda is the appointment of the Plan Commission member to the BZA for 2020. Entertain a motion to place Mr. Hutton on the BZA for the Plan Commission representative for 2020.
I'd like to make that was your motion?
That was my, yeah.
Make a second?
Well,
that's
no, I'm
your
sorry.
motion.
I'm suggesting a
Okay.
motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to appoint William Hutton to the Plan Commission member to BZA for 2020.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, item number 4, is approval of minutes for December 17th, 2019. Have you all had a chance to review the minutes? Are there any comments or questions regarding the minutes? Chair would entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for December 17th, 2019 as written.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 5, old business. Is there any old business? Next item on the agenda is item number 6, new business. First item under new business is CP 20-01, petition of Becker Associates of Washington, LLC, and University Property Group, LLC, for approval of a 2-lot subdivision called Hammond Briar East Center Addition, located at 3430 through 3533 169th Street, which is zoned C2 Shopping Center District within the city of Hammond. I would ask if the notification requirements have been met.
Yes, they have.
Thank you. Could the petitioner please come forward and present to the Plan Commission your petition? Would you please state your name and sign in too for us?
Yes.
And who you're with.
Okay, good evening. My name is Katie Koff. I am an attorney with Hepner, Wagner, and Evans. address 103 East Lincoln Way, Valparaiso, Indiana, 46383. I represent the joint petitioners, Becker's Associates of Washington, LLC, the current owners of the property, and also University Property Group, LLC. I'm accompanied by David Mangerton with KMA Associates, the architect for the project. He'll be able to assist me with any questions you all may have. So we are seeking approval of a 2-lot subdivision over a 10-acre lot located at 3434 169th Street. The existing Briar East Shopping Center is included within this property. Excluded is the BMO Harris Bank and the Sharks Restaurant. And the objective of subdividing these 2 lots is to create a 0.97 acre lot that is adjacent to the BMO Harris Bank, frontage of 169th Street, in order to develop an nationally known auto retail or auto parts retail store. The lot, which will be called Lot 2, will have direct access to 169th Street, and it will also contain cross easements with the current shopping center. And then I will move on to the next item on the agenda to talk more about the site details.
We'll do that after we.
You wanna do-
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we're
So-
gonna start with this petition, and we'll run through our process,
Okay,
and then we'll address that at that time. Is that the end of your presentation?
it is. Thank you.
Thank you. We're talking about the preliminary plat for the Briar East Center addition. Is there any questions by the commissioners regarding the plat of this subdivision? Okay. I do have just one quick question. It notes that there are 2 documents relative to the parcel lot number 2 that are open for their completion. You'll have those documents recorded and then updated on the plat.
Yes, sir.
At this point, we're going to open it up for a public hearing, so if you wouldn't mind having a seat. I would ask if there are any folks in the audience who would like to come forward to speak in favor or against this particular project. And if you are, please sign in. Any members of the audience wishing to speak on behalf of this project? Any members in the audience wishing to speak on this project? Being none, we'll close the public hearing of this petition. Is there any other comments you'd like to make relative to the?
I'm open to answer any questions you all may have.
Any questions for the petitioner? So I would ask the staff to make a report on this particular petition.
Regarding staff review of the subdivision that will be located at 3430 through 3540, 169th Street. Lot 1's address will have the range of 3430 through 3536. And Lot 2, which is where the nationally known auto parts will be located, will have an address of 3540, 169th Street. So staff sent out the plat for agency review. There were no objections stated. The petitioners and owners' legal counsel has contacted the utilities for their agreements to release the easements, and the petitioner/owner can release the internal access easement as a part of their approval of this plat. As for staff recommendations, staff recommends that the Plan Commission grant preliminary and final approval of the Briar East Center, the Hammond Briar East Center addition subdivision plat, subject to the final technical review and approval by city staff, which will include the release of the easements and including the easement documents on the plat once they are recorded, and the petitioner/owner removing and changing all Grant Avenue addresses to 169th Street for the subject properties. And if the Plan Commission agrees, then staff also requests that the Plan Commission adopt this staff report as its findings of facts.
Thank you, Lakeisha, appreciate that. Any questions from the commissioners to the staff? Any questions? Thank you very much. So the chair would entertain a motion to grant preliminary and final approval of the Hammond Briar East Center addition subdivision plat, subject to the final technical review and approval of city staff, and release and easement documents to be contained on the plat, and that the petitioner and owner remove and change all of the Grand Avenue addresses to 169th Street addresses for the subject parcels. Is there so motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Spitali, seconded by Commissioner Dye for the approval of the preliminary and final approval of the plat. Roll call, please.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Michael Dye,
Yes.
Ann Herbert,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali,
Yes.
Sharon Zaney,
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the next item under new business. I beg your pardon. Thank you very much, Mr. Attorney. The chair would entertain a motion to adopt the staff report as a finding of fact.
Make a motion to adopt the staff report as a finding of fact.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Dye, seconded by Commissioner Hutton, to adopt the staff report as a finding of fact. Roll call vote, please.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Michael Dye,
Yes.
Ann Herbert,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali,
Yes.
Sharon Zaney,
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you. Now we'll move on
Okay.
to the second.
I was too excited on the last one.
CP 20-02, a petition of Becker Associates of Washington LLC and the University Property Group LLC for approval of a development plan in a C2 shopping center district located at 3540 169th Street within the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana. You could
Okay.
present your petition, please?
Yes, I'm Katie Koff, attorney with Hebner, Wagner, and Evans, joined by David Mangerton. I represent the sole petitioner in this matter of the University Property Group LLC, the potential purchasers of the property. We are seeking approval of the development plan for the newly proposed Lot 2 in Hammond Briar East Center, addition to the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana, as a new auto parts retail store. This property is located in the C2 Shopping Center District. Lot 2, as I've previously mentioned, is approximately 0.97 acres. Parking is available in the front of the building, and the retail center is actually going to be developed in the southwest corner of the parcel, adjacent to the bank. There is going to be 37 parking spaces, and the building is going to be approximately 7,225 square feet. The landscaping is going to cover 14% of the lot, and pursuant to Section 27.06 of the development plans, you all are able to grant exempt waivers. I believe we had talked about setback issues. Currently our west side setback is 14 feet, and then our rear setback is 26 feet. We would just ask that you would grant us a exempt waiver in this instance. And thank you. I'm open to any questions.
Any questions for the petitioner from the commissioners? No questions? Nope. Okay.
Mr. President, when is all this going to be started? How long before we can get the project moving?
Our Our
Would you
client,
please sign in, sir?
sure. My name is David Mangurten. I'm a principal architect with K. Main Associates, Inc. Architects at 1121 Lake Cook Road in Deerfield, Illinois. Our client, who's built throughout northwest Indiana and the collar counties around Chicago, is eager to start construction as soon as possible.
Thank you.
So again, Councilman Spitali?
That's fine.
Thank you. Sir, would you just please sign in too,
Oh, I'm sorry.
in the sign-in sheet? Thank you. Any other questions for the petitioner? Actually, I do have a couple. With regard to the turn movements on the parcel, I had made comment, I'm not sure if the petitioner had to see my comments, but it shows the truck turn movement onto the site, westbound on 169th, left turn into the development. But it shows that turn starting in the left-hand through lane and not the center turn lane of the site. And I'm wondering, well, I guess we would insist that you show us auto turn movement to reflect a turning from the center dedicated left turn lane rather than the left-hand through lane of traffic.
Okay, we can certainly do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then the other comment I had was, and for some reason I didn't get to see the electrical plan that was sent in with the final package until just very recently, and I didn't see. I will have a couple of comments relative to staff clearing up some details, but it wasn't sealed by an Illinois or in Indiana a professional engineer. I just would like to see that. So if you could make sure that you have an Indiana stamp on that drawing.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, we'll open it up. Well, what I didn't do earlier was to make sure that the notification requirements were received. I guess that was in conjunction with the earlier notification requirements.
Yes, they have.
Thank you, Shannon. So I would open it up for a public hearing at this point, and I would ask if there was anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition. If there's anyone in the audience wishing to speak in opposition of this petition, or if there's any member in the audience wishing to speak at all or comment at all about this petition. Being none, public hearing is now closed. Is there any further comments you'd like to make at this time?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. I would then ask for the staff to make a presentation regarding the development plan.
Regarding CP-20-02, as the petitioner stated, this will be a 7,225 square foot, one-story building. Max height will be 25 feet, and there will be 37 parking spaces. Based on the review of the final development plan, the petitioner is asking for a waiver for title section 8.30, which is the minimum area lot requirements for a C2 shopping center. At this time, even though the plat is approximately 10 acres, the plan commission has the power to approve a development plan that includes one or more commercial outlots smaller than the stated minimum lot area, the minimum average lot width, or the minimum boundary or property line, provided that adequate vehicular access and easements are maintained, and the total area of commercial outlots is less than 40% of the total area of the development plan. Sharks, that is located at 3428 169th Street, has lot size of .646 acres. BMO Harris Bank, located at 3514 169th, has a lot size of .857 acres. And Lot 2 of the Hammond Briar East Center Edition, which is where the proposed auto parts retail store will be located, has a lot size of .97 acres. In total, These three lots are 2.473 acres, and Lot 1 is 8.97 acres. And so after we do the math, we've determined that the three smaller commercial outlots take up 21.67% of the total subdivision area, and this actually meets the conditions per Title Section 8.30. As it relates to our review of the final development plan, it is consistent with the zoning ordinance and comprehensive plan. Some of the major points that are listed in B include that the setbacks, site landscaping, screening, building placement, exterior architecture features, and other site amenities are compliant with the provisions in the C2 Shopping Center District per Title Section 8.31. The Plan Commission also has the power to approve a development plan for commercial outlots that allows for a building setback of less than 50 feet and a parking area setback of less than 20 feet for lot lines internal to the development, subject to the provisions in Title 27, but no changes to the setbacks should be in violation of Title Section 18.20. The petitioner is currently proposing a side yard setback of 14 feet and a rear yard setback of 26.33 feet, and both of these setbacks are less than a 50-foot setback requirement for a building in the C2 district. The parking lot is also 10 feet away from the lot line, which is less than the required 20-foot setback for a parking lot. In terms of staff recommendation, staff has determined that this project is in compliance with the redevelopment plan, and that, the project has been determined to be in compliance with the redevelopment plan of the area. Staff also recommends that the Plan Commission approve the final development plan for the proposed auto parts store, subject to final technical review and approval by city staff, the resolution of the westbound left turn into the site from the center turn lane with the city engineer, and that the petitioner owner removing and changing all Grant Avenue addresses to 169th Street for the subject properties. This, staff also recommends that the Plan Commission adopt the staff report as findings of fact and also make the following findings of fact. The development plan complies with the applicable provisions of Title 8 C2 Shopping Center District and Zoning Ordinance 8514 as amended. Staff recommends that the development plan be approved with the proposed setbacks per Title Section 8.31 for the Hammond East Center addition. I would also like to add and have this amended to the record that staff recommends that the proposed lot sizes for Lot 2 and the commercial lots surrounding said property is approved by the Plan Commission per Title Section 8.30. Number 2, Lot 2 of the Hammond East subdivision is compliant with the subdivision control ordinance. Number 3, the proposed development is compatible with the adjacent development. And number 4, the proposed development is consistent with the intent and purpose of zoning ordinance 8514 and the comprehensive plan. And that concludes staff's recommendation.
Thank you, Lakeisha. Any questions for staff on this matter? Any questions, commissioners? Lakeisha, if you could, I missed a little bit about the findings of fact that you just mentioned under 27.05A1. You started elaborating a little bit on that particular finding of fact, and I missed that.
I wanted to add that staff will recommend that the development plan be approved by the Plan Commission per Title Section 8.30, which is the area and lot width regulations, and Title Section 8.31, which are the proposed yard requirements for the Hammond East Center addition. And this is a power that can be deemed to the Plan Commission for C2, for a property located in the C2 Shopping Center District.
Okay, do our best we can to clarify that. If there are no questions of staff, Chair would entertain a motion to accept the staff's recommendation to determine that the redevelopment plan, the final development plan is approved for the proposed auto parts store, subject to the final technical review and approval by city staff, resolution of the westbound left turn lane into the site from the center turn lane with the city engineer and the petitioner/owner removing and changing all Grand Avenue addresses to 169th Street for the subject properties. Is there so motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second? It's been motioned by Commissioner Dye, seconded by Commissioner Brock to approve staff recommendation. Is there any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Sharon Zany. Yes. 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would also entertain a motion from the commissioners to adopt this report as a finding of fact and also make the following items also as a finding of fact. That number one, the development plan complies with the applicable provisions of Title 8, C2, Shopping Center District in Zoning Ordinance number 8514 as amended. The staff recommends that the development plan be approved for the proposed setbacks in accordance with Title Section 8.31 for the Hammond Briar East Center addition, and that the development plan and the yard requirements are approved. Item number two, that Lot 2 of the Hammond Briar East Center subdivision is compliant with the subdivision control ordinance. Item number three, that the proposed development is in compliance with the adjacent development. And number four, that the proposed development is consistent with the intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance 8514 of the comprehensive plan. Would you like to make that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Herbert, seconded by Commissioner Brock to approve the findings of fact. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Sharon Zany.
Yes.
8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you. Is there any other new business? Item number 7 is correspondence. Is there any correspondence to be received at this time? No. Item number 8, commissioner comments. Any comments from the commissioners? Comments? Any staff comments to be addressed today? No staff comments. Next on the agenda, item 10 is public comment. The meeting's open to the public. If anybody would like to speak to the commission at this time. Being none, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
It's been moved by Commissioner Dye, seconded by Commissioner Hutton to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.